The asphalt shimmered under the blistering midday sun, radiating a heat that felt like a physical weight. Elias stood at the corner of Fifth Avenue, his cane tapping a lonely rhythm against the unforgiving concrete. His clothes were ragged, stained with years of city dust and sweat. He held a tray of cheap trinkets, offering them to the rushing crowd. Most ignored him, their footsteps echoing like thunder in his ears. He wiped his brow, his sightless eyes fixed on a horizon he could never see, yet he never stopped reaching out. When dusk finally fell, Elias dragged his feet back to a cramped, windowless basement. He peeled off his worn shoes, revealing soles raw and bleeding from the day's long walk. With trembling fingers, he counted every single coin, placing them into a small wooden box labeled tuition. In the corner, his son, Leo, was hunched over a desk. A single flickering street lamp through the grate provided his only light. Leo's pen moved rapidly across the paper, tracing complex equations as the years began to bleed into one another. The basement room eventually gave way to the grand architecture of the university. The graduation hall was a sea of velvet and gold, bathed in blinding spotlights that danced across the ceiling. Thousands of guests sat in hushed anticipation as the dean's voice boomed through the speakers. Leo Vance, valedictorian. Leo stood, his gown flowing behind him like a shadow of his past. He climbed the stage, and a heavy gold medal was placed around his neck. The crowd roared in approval, but suddenly, Leo froze. He turned away from the podium, ignoring the faculty and the cameras. He descended the stairs and began to walk. He bypassed the cheering students, his eyes locked on the very back of the hall. There, huddled in the shadows of the final row, sat Elias. Leo reached the old man, who sat with his hands folded over his cane. Without a word, Leo knelt on the cold floor before his father. He unclasped the heavy gold medal and draped it over his father's weathered neck. It was the weight of 1,000 days on the street, finally transformed into gold. Elias reached out, his calloused fingers tracing the cold, smooth metal of the medal. The entire hall fell into a sudden, profound silence. Then, one by one, the thousands stood. The applause began as a ripple and grew into a thunderous wave of respect. Leo bowed his head, his tears falling onto his father's hands. The darkness of the basement had finally led to this brilliant light.